Welcome back to the Morgan News Hour. I'm your host, Deanna Neal. Now, joining me today is Dr. Jackie B. and Kendra Banks from Royalty is Black. Welcome to the Morgan News Hour.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
Yes. Thank you for having us today.
Okay, now, what exactly is Royalty is Black?
Ooh, well, that has its own story.
Uh-huh.
So, Royalty is Black, the name itself, has its roots in R.I.B. If you notice, our books are published by R.I.B. Publishing. R.I.B. Publishing is a name and a company that I actually started in 1979 when I was living in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And I had the idea that I wanted to eventually, I knew I was eventually get into publishing and writing. That's always been something I love to do. So I came up with the name of R.I.B. At that time in a very Christian-centered way. Rib, woman coming from the rib of a man. So that's its original beginning. R.I.B. Publishing, and R.I.B. Publishing is still going on today and has done a lot of things over the years. And now it has evolved into Royalty is Black. So we use the same letters, the acronym, but Royalty is Black.
Yeah. So I feel like this is when I can tag team in, just because the Royalty is Black is kind of like my section of the R.I.B. So I was kind of going many years thinking, I love entertainment. How can I make entertainment something that I can be proud of? I remember when I was 14. Was I 14? We met Ben Carson.
Yes.
At this banquet, and my mother went to him, and she was like, "This is my daughter, and what can you tell her about how to be successful in life?" And he said, "Well, what is she doing?" He's like, "She's a dancer. She loves dance." He was like, "Well, you should try to be useful, and dance is really not useful. Me as a doctor, I save lives. That's useful in society, and that really stuck in my mind. I'm going, well, this is what I love to do. How can it be useful?" And so I feel like that was my life with my entertainment. I had my own
arts.
band, but we sang more, like party feel-good song. And I was like, well, that's not useful. Then I went to a rock band, and I was like, well, this is fun. I don't know how useful it is. And then we were sitting down watching The Black Mermaid when they had that big thing with, was it like Haley and like, oh, my, The Black Mermaid. And I guess that's it. I feel like I can be useful with the arts there. And then that was kind of like, I'm doing a children's song, I'm doing kids' books. And that's when I kind of brought my mom along with her R.I.B. Publishing. And I said, the continuation is Royalty is Black.
I am so glad that you guys cleared that up for me. They're about to laugh because I was confused. As a journalist, I went in and I tried my best to look everything up, and I saw R.I.B. and then I saw R.I.B., but now it makes a lot of sense. Now, as a Christian myself, I get it. We came from Adam's rib. I get that.
Right.
Okay, and then we took those letters and made the acronym Royalty is Black.
Yes.
Well, I got it. Fine.
Thank you.
But the Black Mermaid, now that sounds inspirational. Now, we do remember how we saw all of the stuff in the media where there were so many people that were upset that she was the Little Mermaid because of her skin complexion. They said we were messing up their Disney princess.
They were. And,
Well, that was kind of what we noticed. When we saw they were running the movie previews.
Right.
The trailers. And we saw how the little girls' faces, the black girls' faces are lit up.
Yes.
They look like me.
And yes, she looks like me. And right away, we tied that into, well, we want to build off that and look at little girls' self-esteem. Coming out and being born and raised on the Eastern Shore of Maryland, Lower Eastern Shore of Maryland, where at that time I came through an era of segregation. Mm-hmm. Schools were integrated when I was going into the fifth grade. But I remember also the impact and heaviness of race and color. And how it impacts a person's self-esteem and sense of self-worth. So I know how I overcame it. I was through academics, through sports, A lot of family support, church community. I was just active. And doing things. So we looked at what can you do to build the self-esteem of Black girls in today's society in 2024. What can we do to do that?
I want to put out there that Dr. Jackie B will have a documentary coming out soon.
No, you are not trying to put it into
I
the
just want to put it out there
No,
in the
you are
atmosphere
not.
because
Boo,
if
tomato.
because if you see her resume, I thoroughly believe she has seen a Black mermaid down there on the Eastern Shore. You can't tell me otherwise. She's ran for political office. She's probably going to be our next Black president. I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there. I read her resume and said, wow, I have to do more with my life. What am I doing?
You're doing a lot.
You're doing a lot.
Not as much as Dr. Jackie.
Well,
From NAACP to PTA.
Well, when my kids were in school, I had to do what you do as a good parent. I had to be involved in the school, in the classroom. So
You set the bar high.
So I did become PTA president of my school. Matter of fact, can I say
Don't
a
forget the
history thing?
police. She was also dealing with the police at the same time.
I did a lot, but I realized I didn't realize at the time that I was the PTA president of the school that we integrated, going to the 5th grade, and I was the first Black PTA president that ever had. I never thought about it at the time. I've only thought about it really in the last couple of years or so. That when you move from all Black to you are now 20% minority, it was a major shift in our lives. It's a major shift, and our first book, The Black Mermaid, shares that experience of a very slow burning experience of what it meant to go to school. We use mermaids and land people. So Topaz the mermaid is now going to land school. And what does that look like and feel like for her? So,
And we love sci-fi, science fiction, fantasy.
Yeah, we do.
And so when you said, why is the Black mermaid Black? And I said, well, you know what? Why isn't she Black? And why isn't it come from a mouth of a woman? And there are spaces for a Black voice in Afrofuturism and fantasy. And so I'm trying to fill it.
Oh, yeah, I love comic books and fantasy and all that. Every Marvel movie, all the DC movies.
Doctor Who.
Science fiction.
Yes. Doctor Who
I love
is one
science.
of my favorites.
Yeah.
And Doctor Who started off back in the day as white, and then they brought him back as Black as well.
Yes, they did. Because that was supposed to be my first acting gig when I grew up in life. But, here we go.
Now tell me more about the books. Because we also have another book, which is some of the old sayings of your mother, Dr.
Oh,
Jackie?
yeah. It's called Naomi's Proverbs, a Black mother speaks, and words that make sense. It has this origin. And back home on the Eastern Shore, once a year, they used to have the MLK, Martin Luther King Jr. banquet. It was a big deal. It used to be all 3 lower counties, Somerset, Wacomico, and Dorchester. And it would be like a gathering of 1,400 people, the biggest gathering, largest gathering of Black people on the Lower Shore. Mm-hmm. And I remember going one year, and I was doing my paper at that time, Profiles and Angles, and I was sitting there, and they always give out awards, and 6 people. And that year, they gave out awards to people that were not Black. I said, how can I be at a Martin Luther King Jr. banquet and nobody Black is getting an award when they're Black people running the show?
Huh?
So I remember thinking, what is this? Am I the only one in this room to see something wrong with this? So I went home that night and I was thinking to myself, am I just that different? And I began to think, well, what makes me that different? And I went back to my upbringing, my mother, my parents, but my dad died when I was 14, and my mother. Okay, so my mother's saying. So I started to write down all the things that she had said to me, and I came out with easily almost 80 quotes of the things that she used to say to me over the years that helped shape me into the person that I am today, and my daughter following in my footsteps because she and my mom were very, very close.
Very close.
Extremely so.
I feel like this is the week to appreciate grandmothers because from Monday until now, every show we have talked about the importance of having a grandmother. Almost every single person I have interviewed has talked about the importance of having that elderly figure that has led them in some type of way.
I had a praying grandmother.
And that's why I'm alive.
Yeah. But my daughter, my mom were also very, very close. So. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know for a fact I am alive because she decided to pray. Now, I know for a fact I had her working with those prayers on a regular basis as well. But
so my mom would give out advice like you just mentioned this the other day, Kendra. Always dress nice so that your husband will get used to you leaving home fixed up.
Now, I want to add to that because let me tell you why I use that. Because you got to put why that came up to mind.
Please do.
So, a gentleman fellow I was talking to was like, "Oh, are you going out looking nice? Oh, my grandmama, Yomi, always said to look nice so your man won't know when you're cheating. Now that's not in that book." But I just wanted to on that, the first of that quote.
I'm speechless. I have no idea.
My mama was a ball of fire.
She was a ball of fire.
Okay, but then again, I like this one too. My husband always believed in a woman taking some time for herself. My mom had 6 kids, and I was her only daughter. I'm number 5 of 6, and my dad would let her go on vacation every year, so she'd get a break from us once or twice a year. So men need to think about that today. You got all these women doing all these things,
and also the new thing of Black women just prioritizing rest. In this world where everybody's like go, 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 and you could literally go, go, go until you go to sleep. Rest is resistance at this point.
Now, I think I messed up with this one in life, and I'll move on. Be careful about accepting money and gifts from a man. He might think he owns you. I should have been taking those money and gifts.
Words to live by.
To be generous. I should be more accepting.
Well, now that we're going to get back to kids' books.
Okay. These are definitely adult themes. And it does cover racism things, how to deal with her attitude. The white man needed my labor and I needed a paycheck. Just because you work for him, you don't have to be disrespected. Okay, he needs you as much as you need him. Keep it moving. Okay, but my parents were entrepreneurs. So anyway.
I can appreciate that. There is wisdom in the sayings of the more mature. So I appreciate that.
You're going to get kicked off and never invited again.
So what is the new TikTok thing? We listen and we don't judge.
So, I have it very limited quantities in print form, but it's online. We'll talk about that later, but you can get an ebook of it.
So let's talk more about The Black Mermaid. Now, I see 2 different versions of The Black Mermaid. So what was the first book that you made?
Yeah, the first book was the Black Mermaid, Topaz's first integration, and that's the one my mother was speaking on. That really talked about the years that she, from 4th grade to 5th grade, when she went through integration. So that's the first book. The second book, I had more input in because that was her life. All I could do was add some sprinkles of what I wanted. But I feel like my baby is on the I Too Sing the Ocean Song, and it's off of the Langston Hughes I Too Sing America. And so I love that poem, and so I decided to kind of make my own rendition in my Black Mermaid. So I don't know. That's my thing, and I tried to be futuristic by using some more of the AI.
I see it looks gorgeous.
A mixture of me.
Beautiful
So
book.
we're really
It's
proud
beautiful.
of just trying to take something out of my mind and put it in
beautiful
paper.
book. We're so proud of this book. It's so so beautiful, and we feel with all kinds of affirmations and
Yeah.
things that make you feel good about yourself. And it's just beautiful. Live in coral castles. So people living in we're princesses and queens, and then we have our own legacies. And I love this line here. It talks with rebellious ancestors that jumped in the tide. They plead, stay in the sea, hidden in mystery. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about giving, on that little journey from Africa, the forced journey from Africa to Americas. Some of us didn't make it.
Right.
Some of us decided not to make it
On purpose. We're not gonna So we jumped in the ocean and we're still there. Okay,
Yes.
okay. So on land, people won't understand water energy. So anyway,
And I'm Aquarian, so water bearer.
anyway, so it's a beautiful
She
book.
went to her sign. So your birthday's coming up.
Yes, it is. January 29th. I shared with Oprah. Hey, girl. 5 million of these books, girl. Okay.
Now, before we leave for the Black Mermaid, I want to share that being a retired educator, I had to add in some some teaching and learning components. So with the Black Mermaid, Topaz's first integration, we have organizers, all kind of discussion starters and questions. It's written so it can also be used
As a teaching tool,
it's a teaching tool, and also across the grade levels. If you wanted to even use it as a way to talk about civil rights and what integration looked like in the 60s, even at the college level. You understand what I mean? You can just see what it looked like just by reading her story. But anyway, KWL chart, Venn diagram. Then we thought we'd just give them something.
A coloring
A
book.
coloring, some coloring. We have 3 coloring books. We didn't bring those today. We have 3 coloring books.
We put some bang
We
in
have-
this book.
And so they can reflect on what they just read, and if they have discussions about it, coloring is very relaxing. So I just wanted to make sure that people understood that the Black Mermaid also has teaching and learning materials included with it, and it is available online, of course. So it might ask something simple, depending on the grade level. Why do you think the land students met Topaz at the portal? Why do you think she was nervous? What is integration?
We really wanted to make sure that people that were homeschooling, this really happened through COVID, and we said, how can we give people books and they can also teach from them and feel comfortable and have, guiding questions and really listen to what their children say back.
Because this book, it's pretty deep. It covers some very serious. Integration is it's a pretty serious topic. And
to teach children about integration through the Black Mermaid.
That's right.
That is beautiful. Now, you have a song also associated with a book as well. Tell me more about this book and the song that is out there.
Yes, so I'll first start with the song. So Flow Those ABCs, by the Black Mermaid, is my ode to Baltimore. I am not an original Baltimorean. However, back on the Eastern Shore, I popped my tapes on Go-Go and Baltimore Club Music. And I was determined to have my own Baltimore Club song. So I said, man, how am I going to do it? And I knew I had to work with Mighty Mark. And I reached out to him with my song. And I said, if you like this song, please. And he said, yes, I'll do it. And this was really one of his first kids songs that he has ever did a Baltimore Club Music on. So I'm really excited about that. And I want to give a shout out to him because I think last year he just won his first Grammy. So Baltimore is doing amazing things. So this was right before that. So I was like, oh, good. I'm glad I got him before he gets too big for me. So I'm excited because it's the ABCs turned up. I always say it's made for Baltimore children. And that's because it's not a cutesy a song. And you're about to hear it. But you'll understand why. When you hear it, you go, oh, yeah. It's like we come for it. And it's Baltimore against, all y'all.
As an educator, just wanted to say that when she originally wrote the ABC song, it came out the same time as Topaz's first integration came out. But we have a new book that's coming out that is going to be a major part of as well, and that book is a book on phonics. As a teacher, I know that our kids are having problems learning how to read, and I know that teaching kids to read using phonetics is really the best way to teach them to read. So, but it's more than just the phonics. It's going to teach them phonetics. It's going to teach them vocabulary. It's going to teach them word recognition. It's going to teach them fluency, which all leads into building reading comprehension. So it's going to be part of that book, our phonics A to Z book, and we're going to have the alphabet song, flow those ABCs. We're going to have when you look at videos that will give you, if you're doing the S sound, you're going to have the S sound and examples of words that have the S sound, and then you're going to have pictures of those words also. So you can build all of that to help teach those reading skills, and that's from A to Z. And we also have an audio for those who are auditory learners and the visual learners and the tactile learners. And so we have the book, the song, and something, one more thing.
And I'm working on like the stories. So I took all the words and we put them to stories and poems. So we really try to make it for almost any way you learn. Reading is power, and that's what we want everybody to know.
The other thing that's important is we have a list of as a former teacher, I know how important it is. There's word recognition is, and as well as phonics. So the 100 most used words, I've included that list in there as well, and they have audio to that, and also visual, so you can read along with the words. And by the time you get finished reading this book, I designed it so that with or without parental help, you can teach yourself to read. Okay, all over the world. So we're very excited about it, and that will be released by January. So the total project.
So she put us on a time. I don't put myself on a time.
Well, yeah, can you go to social media, please?
Okay, so on IG we're at the.blackmermaid. On YouTube we're at the_black_mermaid. And then of course our website is theblackmermaids.com. Or if you love Amazon, I always say use my mother's lovely name. Put in the search The Black Mermaid, Topaz's First Integration, or, of course, Dr. Jackie B. And
Jackie
she spelled Jaky.
And the letter B.
Well, that's it for the Morgan News Hour. Thank you, Dr. Jackie B. and Kendra Banks, for coming on the Morgan News Hour. Here's Flow Those ABCs by the Black Mermaid Project featuring Miss Kendra here on WEAA 88.9.
Ooh, oh girl, is that Talante over there looking at you? Oh girl, let me see. Ooh, oh girl, like, doesn't he want to read? Doesn't he want to know his ABCs? Like, ooh, boy, bye. Hey, what up, Kendra? Hey, Devontae, I got a question for you. Do you know your A, B, C, D, E,